Hello, my name is Katie, and today I'm doing a standalone book review, which I don't do very often. My hair is kind of a mess, and I just couldn't be bothered to do anything with it today, so this is just how this is gonna go. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. What you're here for is the book, so let's just get started talking about Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I received an ARC of Project Hail Mary in a Goodreads giveaway. Apparently, people do win those. I've actually won like 5 this year. So it seems the trick is to just enter all the giveaways. I mean, you cast a wide enough net, something's gonna swim in, right? Anyway, I was really excited to get this one. It doesn't come out till May, I believe. Yeah, May. And I was just, half of the fun of reading this book was knowing that I was reading it before it was even published. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I took some pretty decent notes while I was reading this book. First of all, this is my first book by Andy Weir. I didn't read The Martian or Artemis, I think was his second release. However, I did watch the movie The Martian, and that same sense of humor is very much present in Project Hail Mary. So pretty much from the start, this book had me fairly hooked. The introduction to the book is this man is waking up and he doesn't know where he is. All he knows is that there are an awful lot of tubes attached to his body. He starts moving and he hears this computerized voice telling him things, and he's like just completely out of it. After a while, he manages to get up and he starts exploring his surroundings, and the whole time he's just thinking that something is off, something is not right, something doesn't feel right with the way he moves his body. He does some calculations and determines that he's actually at 1.5 Gs instead of 1 G, which is what gravity is on Earth. He is very confused about this and eventually realizes that the reason for the discrepancy in gravity is because he is no longer in Earth's solar system. That's pretty much how that kicks off. This book was so funny. Like, one, I had so much fun reading it. I don't remember the last time I had this amount of fun reading a book before, and I laughed. I don't typically, usually like, I'll kind of like in my head laugh, but I was laughing out loud while reading this book. I had so much fun with it. Our main character, his name is Ryland Grace, and he is hilarious. This is kind of a tricky book to talk about because I don't want to give too much away, because half of the fun in this book is making these discoveries with him. So I'm not going to say a whole lot. This book is fairly science heavy. However, I don't think understanding the science is necessary to enjoying the book. The story definitely stands on its own. If you do have any basic understanding of physics or molecular biology, anything of that nature, you'll enjoy this a lot. Like, I could see the math that he was doing in my head. I understood the experiments he was doing to determine all these things about his circumstances. And that kind of definitely upped the enjoyment factor for me. But it's totally not necessary to know. And even if, I mean, it doesn't get that deep into science. Like, if you can understand the relationship between force, mass, and acceleration, and how energy can be converted to mass, and then maybe a little bit, if you have a little bit of an understanding about how cells store energy, you will 100% get on with this book. So, if not though, like I said, don't let that deter you from reading the book, because the story itself is so enjoyable, and the main character he becomes very lovable. What kind of sucks here is I don't know how much of the story I can really tell you without getting into spoiler territory. So maybe I'll just kind of go into the things he discovers within the first 100 pages or so. So when he wakes up, he realizes his memory is like mush. Like, his brain not totally functioning. He has like his base skills, things that are muscle memory, but he can't remember his name, he can't remember where he is, why he's there, anything like that. So through his memories, we come to realize that the reason he is in space, in a totally different like solar system than the one he should be in, is because they discover that there is, it's kind of like algae. It's very small, like microorganisms, but they take energy from the sun in mass quantities, and that is causing the sun to dim. Now, if you have any basic understanding of how life propagates, you will understand that without the energy from the sun, life on Earth will cease to exist. So in an effort to try and determine how they can fix this problem, they send a crew out to one of the only stars in the galaxy that they have discovered isn't getting dimmed over time. And that is where Ryland Grace is, and he realizes, what his mission is, which is to figure out what makes this particular star different than all the other ones in the galaxy. Now, I kind of want to get into some mild spoilers here. So if you really want to read this book and you want max enjoyment, which is to just make all these discoveries with Ryland throughout the story, then this is it for you. End the video here. You should be anxiously awaiting May to come so you can read this book. Alright. So for the people who either don't care about spoilers or have no interest in reading this book but for some reason like to hear me talk, this turns into a first contact with aliens story, which I was not at all expecting. So Ryland is out at the star trying to figure out what's happening when suddenly he realizes there is another spaceship next to him. Not next to him, but within visual range. And he doesn't know what to make of this. So there's some trial and error. They start communicating with each other a little bit just with like ship movements so they can acknowledge that the other person does in fact see them and is in fact there trying to communicate. Eventually they meet and it is in fact intelligent alien life, and they are having a similar problem with their star. What's really kind of heartwarming about this story is that Ryland was sent out with 2 other crewmates, both of whom died on the trip, and the alien, whom he calls Rocky for various physical reasons, all of his crewmates have also died. So they were very much alone and trying to save their planet, but then they found each other, realized they had a common enemy, and they worked together. And the friendship that develops between them just warmed my heart. And on top of that, going through the different methods they use to try and figure out how to communicate with each other and learn about each other's physiology was fascinating to me. I was just so impressed by the cleverness displayed by both parties. It was my favorite part of the book, for sure. And that's as deep as I'm going to get into spoilers. Overall, 110% recommend this book. I rated it 5 stars. I intend to go out and read every other book that Andy Weir has ever written now. So let me know in the comments below if you have any interest in reading this book, if you like Andy Weir. I would love to hear all of your thoughts. If you're new here and you like my content, subscribe, stick around. I'd love to see you in my comments. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon. Bye.